Yeah, the revolution, Yup, the revolution.
The revolution, y'all, will not be televised.
Yeah, you gotta wake up, open your eyes,
Make a change in your life,
and find a new way of living.
It's time to start living for the children.
Everybody look into my life, tell me what you see. The perseverance of a young man sitting is so free. LA Mac, be the champ, but still fighting the struggle. They couldn't shut my mouth with a muzzle. I'm hard to figure like a puzzle. My name ought to be Jigsaw, rough around the edges. I've been known to spit raw, always with a pen and a book. I'm kinda thin and I look real suspicious like a one-eyed crook. St. Loco is the city I claim, not in a game, but I'm bang. Don't try me, I ain't new to this thing. Consequences and repercussions for pissing me off. I ain't mad, I'm just trying to pay the rent on this loft. Short arms and short pockets, I be pulling out lit, so understand why I'm trying to get bent. We all about that hippie hoppy, don't stop me all the way live. Writing more issues than vibe when my mind televised. The revolution, y'all, will not be televised. You gotta wake up, open your eyes, make a change. Jigsaw, cut you in half. I'm about to show the meaning of lyrical bloodbath. You should go take a bath, dog, dusty and dirty. When I'm 42 and rhyming, I'ma still be worthy. And I'ma be all-time top 3. The reason I can shoot, cause y'all don't matter to me. I done been there and done that. My stats is dumb fat. And for the record, I'm just stating facts and I run that. Line them up and knock them down. I run this town. It's just a matter of opinion. I come down. My mind is like the combine. I only get one time to prove that my 40-time rhymes are sublime. I inspire rappers, y'all call them a MC. The difference mine end in a lowercase e. I lit your pilot, you was waiting to blow. You ain't never been on fire, I'm just letting you know. Sicily Nitro.
You do is featherweight. Monkey shots to make you never say no. Lock and load.
I can hear sweat trickling down the cheek.
You do is featherweight. Monkey shots to make you never say no. Lock and load. I guarantee you it'll be your very last time breathing.
Double-edged sword, I'll bang your backboard. Dressed in all white, the home team, they clap for you. We just wanna have a good time.
Hey yo,
Wanna have a good time.
Nitro.
We just wanna have a good time. Oh yeah, no time for the drama. Come on. Hey, hey, we just wanna have a good time. Good time. We just wanna have a good time. Good time. We just wanna have a good time. Good time. No time for the drama. Everybody in the place, they was throwing their hands up. Everybody in the place, they was throwing their hands. Everybody in the place, they was throwing their hands up. Everybody in the place, they was throwing their hands. I just wanna have a good time. They calling me JJ, cause I got the mic posted up with the DJ. Please no requests, I'm repeating what he say. We got it under control, it's cool like Cool J. Now when the needle drop and the record spin, give me a scratch to let me know where the song begin. His shoulder hold the headphone with one ear so he can hear the monitor and mix the record real clear. It's okay, I said it's okay, cause I'm with the DJ. I'm with the DJ. It's okay, I said it's okay, cause I'm with the DJ. I'm with the DJ. Everybody in the place, they was throwing their hands up. Everybody in the place, they was throwing their hands. Everybody in the place, they
Well, hello guys, how's it going? Back in the mix. It's just been a while. Sorry, I was away last week and we had a few issues the previous week. So, guys, we're gonna do this at this time every Saturday. Okay, that's a bare minimum I'm committing to doing this. I'll talk about the state of play a bit later in this call. But what we're actually going to do today is do something we haven't done for a while. We're going to do a live run through G Meta. Now, this I did say to Raekwon. I hope you're right there, Raekwon. We will do something next week. A couple of guests on. We'll schedule it a bit better, but it will be at this time. We're going to mix it up and start doing a regular promotion here. I say I will talk to you about a few things that have gone on and just explain. But we're still here, guys. You know, we're not going away. GMeta is not going away either. So with that in mind, I'm going to just do this presentation first of all. Let me just pull up my slides. I will run through the presentation very quickly. I'm going to do some news, and then I'm going to do a little. I'm just going to chat to you a bit for a few minutes as well. So here we go. Anyway, let's just pull up my. Just get my ugly mug out of it. So I'm filling. We're going to fill the whole screen with this. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to do a full run through right now. And GMeta 1 is a design for digital life. You know, guys, gotta appreciate. I'm going to run through some news, which hopefully will resonate with you as well. You know, what's happening with GMeta 1 is very similar to what's happening to other metaverse projects. And you know, they understand the lie of the land, and I'm hoping that you guys can too. This is not going to be an overnight project, as you probably realize at this point. We're here a year and a half in, but we want to start moving things along. So now, if people are asking you about what's Web 3.0, I do think it's very important that everybody understands what Web 1.0 and Web 2.0 were, because I didn't before I joined this project. Web 1.0 ran from, it was the birth of the internet, essentially. 1989, the internet came into being, and it was static. It was the first and most reliable. The reason it was most reliable, it wasn't a lot of moving parts. It offered access to limited information. Companies just wanted to be online and get a website. It didn't have a lot of user interaction. There's no algorithms. They didn't exist in those days. It was just a one-way highway. Businesses basically wanted an online presence. You know, over that period of time, say from 1989 up to the millennium, the new millennium, you know, people who probably poo-pooed the idea at the start suddenly woke up in a sweat in the middle of the night and went, "Oh my God, I need to get a website." And that's essentially what Web 1.0 was. Now, that continued until right about 2005. Things started to change dramatically. You had more interactive experience. You had user-generated content, blogs, and you know, things like WordPress came into being. Video logs, website interoperability. You could do stuff, other stuff on websites and shop, etc. New website technologies, different languages, which allowed web designers to create different types of website. Then you had social media. Back then, social media meant things like MySpace. Remember that? If you're old enough, you will. Bebo was another thing that was around then, not around anymore. And you know, this is the thing that I've always said, because at that point people started to access the web using phones. Now that is now the foremost way that people access the web. Now, back then you would have been doing that using something like a BlackBerry. There's a company who had it all and blew it. They don't exist anymore, essentially. Well, they probably do, but they're certainly not in the mainstream. They had it, they lost it, you know, and search engines and things, Google came into being then. You know, I firmly believe that the people who are going to be the biggest players in Web 3.0, maybe they don't even exist yet, or we're not aware of them, because that's what happened to Web 2.0. Companies came along and took the bull by the horns and became the main players in Web 2.0. Facebook kicked MySpace into touch. MySpace had it their own way, and then Facebook came romping along. But that's not to say Facebook or Meta are going to be the biggest player in Web 3.0. Far from it. I firmly believe they won't. Now, Web 3.0 is the next stage of the web. It's more intelligent, it learns, it's got AI systems that can run smart programs that help us. Decentralized finance is going to be, whether you like it or not, is going to be a huge part of Web 3.0. You know, we're looking at this now. Look at all the new different options that you have now for banking. All the major banks, they're losing customers to things like Revolut and Cash App and all these other things, and then crypto, obviously, as well. The metaverse itself is a part of Web 3.0, but it's not, by all means, not all of it. Augmented and virtual reality and next level artificial intelligence. But what is the metaverse? Well, basically, it's just a space where, with a degree of realism, where people can play, shop, socialize, pretty much do anything they can in real life. Metaverse proponents often focus on the concept of presence as a defining factor, feeling like you're really there and feeling like other people are really there with you too. You know, I'm broadcasting here on social media, but you don't think you're right sitting beside me, you're not interacting with me, you're not shaking hands with me. That's what I'm saying. You get a sense of presence and of your surroundings in the metaverse. But the thing with the metaverse is, unfortunately, the concept of the metaverse doesn't actually exist yet. The concept does, but in reality, what we have is very, very in its infancy. The current platforms are centralized and exist as walled gardens. You know, I can jump into Decentraland, but I can't just jump from Decentraland using the same avatar into something like Sandbox. You know, you need to come out of one and go into another. That's not what the metaverse is supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to walk from one into the other seamlessly. We're far from that idea, and we're far from the idea that these metaverse experiences are interoperable. Not all these experiences are built on the same technology or even had any intent of becoming compatible with other projects. Well, that was at the start. Now they certainly do. Games platforms demonstrate the global appetite for virtual worlds, but it'll only become the metaverse when we can all walk into our screens and move between platforms. GMeta 1, what are we doing? Well, GMeta 1 is a hybrid metaverse ecosystem. We've got interconnecting metaverse business development, networking, real estate, and education objectives. We're also primarily a bridge. We're bridging our world with other hybrid metaverses, representing expanding network of three-dimensional Web3 worlds. So you're going to see where we have locations. We've already started building those bridges. Significant part is founded on education. You know, the previous 3 to 4 Super Saturdays, Sylvie's been doing some amazing presentations to help you guys. You know, we're going to talk to you later about the state of play and perceptions people maybe have of our team and misconceptions. Okay, well, let's talk about that in a while. Now, we're also founded upon a metaverse environment designed with the technological capacity to allow individuals to build, buy, sell, and rent metaverse real estate. We're bridging together education and development whilst creating a fulfilling metaverse experience environment for developers, real estate brokers, NFT creators, virtual event hosts and planners, e-commerce merchants, and business-to-business offerings, plus newcomers to the metaverse. Now, these bridges, as I mentioned before, we've already established premises in other metaverse projects, and we're going to keep doing that as part of our ongoing mission. Some of our locations, well, we've got the GMED Arena in Vauxhalls. We've hosted many events there, as you can see, even an exclusive white label event for Wiz Khalifa. We've also got apartments for rent in GMED One Heights and business premises there too. It's become a business hub. It started out as being apartment block, but it's really now a hub where you can show off your business in the metaverse. We've got a 4-story headquarters in a very prominent site in Decentraland, and Somnium Space, we've got an arena as well. But 20 years ago, recently celebrated its 20th birthday. It's in the news, actually, one of the items I was going to do today. This Second Life was the pioneer for what we now know as the metaverse. And in Second Life, people can purchase avatars, wearables, property, vehicles using its own internal currency. It's like a game currency, Linden dollars. You can only use those for purchase on the platform. Linden dollars are not externally tradable, not cryptocurrency. Like, say, Robux, like V-Bucks in Fortnite. They're only usable in the game itself, not a cryptocurrency. Now, by 2013, halfway through their lifespan, they had 64 million registered users, but unfortunately, only 1 million of those were actually active in the game itself. But it does remain as a trailblazer for all current metaverse projects. And here are 3 established metaverse projects. You're going to hear something about Sandbox later. Decentraland, you've already heard about. Somnium Space. These are 3 of the biggest players. There's more. There's obviously a lot more. Every week there's a new metaverse project that comes up. But look at Sandbox. Let's look at their token prices. Let's look at their land prices and the effect things have had on them. Now, these are a bit old, this particular chart, but these figures really actually haven't changed a lot. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, Sandbox, November 2021. Land owners, back then 4,300. Average price at launch of a piece of land was $100. Average price of land at 2022, $15,000. What kind of return on investment was that? Their token, SAND, at launch, it went out at 8 cents. The all-time high for Sandbox token was $8.40. I kid you not. Ridiculous, absolutely incredible turnaround. Look at Decentraland, February 2020. The average price of land was $20. The average price of land 2022, $12,000. $12,000. Crazy if you had a piece of land that you bought at the start. These things take time. Their token, MANA, was launched at 2 cents back in 2017, I think it was 2017. Keep that in your head. 4 years later, it hit its all-time high of $5.85. 4 years it took to do that. Now look at Somnium Space. Opened their doors 2018. Average price of land was quite high. They didn't have any competition. Simple as that. $500. Average land price 2022, $10,000. Now look at this token, Cube. Price at launch, 2 cents. All-time high in November 2021, $28.12. $28.12. You would have had to wait 3 years for that. 3 years for that to happen. Keep that in your head. Why are we different? GMeta 1 seeks to be a bridge between our world and other metaverses. We have unique offerings with our NFT proposition, other utilities like GMeta V Academy, and the business and advertising marketplace. But the bridges we're building truly distinguish us from any other cryptocurrency project. Also, our tokens launched on Binance Smart Chain. It's faster, more flexible, and cheaper for our users. We will offer a bridging solution if people want to use Ethereum and Polygon after we launch the token. In pre-sale, we offer NFT giveaway incentives, VR headsets, and even luxury vehicle prizes. Our token, well, we're in the pre-sale currently. Now, it's the power to our ecosystem, everything from paying for education to buying land and all things G Meta, anything. Now, currently, we're in the pre-sale of $5 million worth of tokens. We've got over 5,000 holders and 15,000 subscribers. In the pre-sale, 20% of the total supply of 1 trillion that will ever exist will be sold. Of this amount, half of it will go into locked liquidity. Half of it. Now, for successful token launch, you need a big community, you need a use case, and you need liquidity. All those boxes are ticked with G Meta token. The price at launch will be 0.000025 when we launch. We've been in the press, spreading the word all over the world in different languages, different publications, different industries. People are aware of G Meta 1. Now, who's involved? Why are so many big companies clamoring to get involved? Well, here are some of those. Have a look at this. Celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Paris Hilton, Lady Gaga, Madonna. It goes on. Sports people, LeBron James, Shaq O'Neal. Then you're looking at performers, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Travis Scott, Wiz Khalifa, we mentioned, fashion brands. Every single major fashion brand is in the metaverse. There's a massive event that's held every year in Decentraland. That is Metaverse Fashion Week. It takes place in March, I believe. Food and drink, all the big guys, McDonald's, Coke, Wendy's. Oh my God, it goes on. Johnny Walker, lots of booze, Stella Artois, Estrella Damm, Deliveroo, Budweiser, Burger King, sports brands, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, Under Armour, Puma, all the big ones. Financial organizations, very interesting that they wanted to get involved, and the first ones were JP Morgan, no less, the biggest crypto skeptics, the biggest manipulators of Bitcoin on the planet. Citibank, HSBC, American Express. MasterCard got involved. Guess what happened? American Express followed suit. Then came Visa. Travel and tourism, celebrity cruises. Have a cruise liner you can go and visit and actually interact with the captain, the crew, see what size of cabin in reality. It's a perfect scale model of one of their ships. So from your perspective, you can go into the cabin and see what a cabin upgrade, why you'd want to upgrade, because you can see what you're getting extra, what it feels like to be in that cabin. Brilliant idea. All the major airlines, as you can see, Disney are going to build a theme park in the metaverse. Technology, all these big technology companies. Look at the one at the bottom. That is the biggest player in the metaverse, NVIDIA. NVIDIA are doing incredible things in the metaverse. But you won't see that advertised on TV. You may not be aware of that, but NVIDIA are one of the biggest companies in the metaverse. Retailers love the metaverse, and all of these people are doing this. Whether you believe in the metaverse or not, these guys don't actually give a damn. They're doing it whether you believe in it or not. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Hopefully it tells you there's something going on. Why are they getting involved? Well, look at this amazing headline. The metaverse economy could be an $8 to $13 trillion total addressable market by 2030. I didn't say that. Citibank said that. The benefits of having a metaverse presence are numerous. Permits businesses to reach a global audience without geographical limitations, allows businesses to interact with their customers in a more personal way, a more social, engaging experience for customers, which can lead to more sales and long-term loyalty. Your virtual premises in our metaverse and everything in it will also be NFTs you can stake to earn a passive income. You can't do that with a real property. Businesses can also use virtual worlds to train employees. This is happening right now, replicating real-world experiences to let their team practice in advance safely. Businesses can test out new products and services without having to invest in physical infrastructure or risk publicity. The benefits are incredible. Now, this is what we do. We're not just launching a token, we're not just launching a metaverse. We can help you with metaverse land purchases, building services, commercial private rentals, sales and rentals of billboards, venue rentals, metaverse event management, NFT creation, wearable NFT design, education, and training across all these aspects. Much more to come. So imagine a market that's free from the traditional barriers to entry, a platform where you can promote your brand globally, a currency with huge liquidity and infinite usage, and a world where anyone can participate and stake their claim. Okay, guys, that is our presentation. I told you I was going to do that. Now, that is what we show everybody. So if you've got somebody who's interested, you're probably better bringing them to one of these presentations rather than telling them what you know about the metaverse. No offense, but it's better to bring somebody to a third party presentation so it ceases to become what you think or know about the metaverse. That's a age old way of networking. That's the way to do it. Bring them to a proper presentation. Okay, guys, I did say I was going to do some news, and then I'm going to finish up with a few. I'm just going to skip through the news. I'm going to read a lot of this. Let me just share screen again. This is good. I love this. Okay, it's just this headline. I'm not going to go into this too much, but it's a really good headline. Why the metaverse is still a vision ahead of its time. This is a Forbes Technology Council post, and a gentleman called Srikumar Ramanathan. He's a Forbes Council member, and you know, he's basically, well, batting back the concept. Obviously, we've always mentioned this. A lot of people look at Meta and think that's the metaverse. So if it's having problems, that's it, game over. And this is not the accurate case, and that's what this guy's saying as well. The concept of the metaverse has captured widespread attention. However, setbacks arising from economic slowdowns and the industry shift towards AI have raised questions about the feasibility and timing of this ambitious concept. Several challenges hinder the metaverse's progress, including a lack of unified platform, high entry costs, and a dearth of compelling content. Also, the necessary hardware to fully realize the metaverse's potential is still in the infancy. But while some view the metaverse as a flawed idea plagued by privacy and security, I, on the other hand, argue that it's simply ahead of its time. Combining existing VR and augmented technologies, the metaverse still holds immense potential for innovation and the creation of new applications. So again, you know, again, you're looking at he goes on to just mention a lot of the success, a lot of the evidence that's there, that it's still growing. The pivotal question arises to whether businesses can effectively leverage these foundational models to provide a customer-centric experience. While the game and entertainment industries may thrive within the metaverse, targeting specific audiences, other businesses have yet to fully comprehend the practical applications of this realm. That raises the question of whether the initial hype and promises surrounding the metaverse were indeed ahead of their time. The true metaverse, as envisaged, would be a device-independent digital landscape not owned by a single vendor. Such a metaverse requires its own virtual economy, facilitated by digital currencies. So that's it. I'm going to put that in. Let me just put that in the feed, in the comments, if anybody wants to fully read that. That's why we do these things, guys. Okay, so let's look at something else. Okay, this one. Again, it's what industry basically is leading the way. Industry works in the metaverse. 100% manufactured in the metaverse, part of EE Times enabling the factory of 2030 special report. So in the past year, I was surprised. Let me just see. Where's that? I read. I like this. The past year, I was surprised to see how much demand there actually is and how much interest. For many of them, it feels like it's existential. If they don't figure out how to create better digital twins, is it digital twins of existing manufacturing plants and simulate first, we're not going to be able to create the things we need. So, Michelle Melchiori, Senior VP for Production System, Technical Planning, Tool Shop and Plant Construction at BMW, said that before adopting digital twins and metaverse technologies, production systems in factories weren't connected. 3D models of buildings and layouts were separate. With the virtual factory and the metaverse and digital twins, we bring all these things together and we can use them together at any location where the people are. That's really where we see it growing. BMW, you know, I don't need to add anything to that. You know, BMW is working with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is partnering with a lot of car manufacturers, Volvo, BMW, or just to name but two, and began a rollout of NVIDIA's Omniverse platform for industrial metaverse in spring 2023. The automotive OEM is going digital first, optimizing layouts, robotics, and logistics before implementing them in the real world. In some cases, years in advance. The brand new BMW factory in Hungary is the first to get a full digital twin, with production scheduled to start at the site in the next 2 years. Just crazy. There's Bentley, they're mentioned as well. You know, these are huge top-end companies. So, you know, again, this should tell you what you need to know. Are you in the right place? Are you in the right place? You know, let's have a look at this. Get rid of that one. Just see if I'm sharing my screen still. Nope. Okay, so 20 years on, the fashion-forward metaverse that keeps on giving second life. Years after its inception, the concept of metaverse seemed to have fallen flat against the backdrop of what meant to be its magnificent revival. So, this is just talking about Second Life because obviously they were 20 years old. Now 20 years on, this appeal seems to have some weight. In 2021, it had been reported that there were still some 64 million active users on Second Life. Well, that's not accurate. We know that's not accurate. With Web Tribunal then stating there was a daily average of 200,000 users spanning 200 countries. Wow. Potential hints at Second Life's comeback were already present at the beginning of last year when its creator, Philip Rosedale, returned to parent company Linden Labs as strategic advisor. This followed an undisclosed investment from High Fidelity, a spatial auto company known, also co-founded by Rosedale. Now in its 20th anniversary, on the brink of releasing a new portable mobile app. Wow, that is impressive. That's what we've been talking about. VR headsets are not the way that this is going to go mass market. Second Life and Linden Labs have set themselves up for the task of bolstering and supporting their already vibrant fashion community in the hope of maintaining the platform's status as a pioneer in the sector. To get some idea and insight into the platform's longevity, Fashion United spoke with Second Life's VP of product, as well as some of the designers that paved the way. So again, I'm going to put this one. This is, if you could see, this is kind of, for me, a very important article. I think it's really important because it shows you that, you know, Second Life, I've often said that they were way too far ahead, but they're still here. And they're getting a second, it's almost like they're getting, Second Life is getting a second life, because obviously the attention that's being brought to the metaverse has reignited their subscribers You know, our slides say there's only 1 million active users. Well, this article is actually disputing that very fact. So basically, obviously they've reignited people's imagination, and they're releasing a mobile app. Wow, if they could pull that off and people can have the same experience of Second Life with a mobile app, they're onto something massive. This is the future. But it is, to me, the almost like a good metaphor for the whole industry as far as I'm concerned. So really, really, you should read that. You know, digital fashion, because of their high graphics, as you can see, they're pretty damn impressive. You know, so that's a massive, massive full interview with the main people behind Second Life. So I really urge you to read that. Education's everything in this sector. Here's another one. Might not resonate, but the British Museum are pretty big players. But, you know, obviously, you know, they're partnering with the Sandbox to bring art and history to the metaverse. This is what industry is, one of the things, manufacturing, obviously, that we've just mentioned. But arts are massive. Art and museums and travel, all of these, and education are the 4 or 5 different industries that are going to drive this whole concept. It'll happen. Can't just say when, but it will happen. But the British Museum, you know, obviously, if you want to go to the British Museum, you're going to have to get on a plane and go to the UK. You know, I've actually not been to the British Museum. Been to a lot of museums in London, but not the British Museum. And they've partnered with the Sandbox, and they're going to, I presume, they're going to build a version of it, a digital twin. Yep. Passbank Pompidou Centre, they're going to do the same in France. So yeah, they're going to build a digital twin in the Sandbox. So basically, you'll be able to go and view exactly what you could do in London without getting on a plane. This is perfect. And again, for education purposes, if people are studying art, they can go to see all the beautiful art in the British Museum, or study the history of various aspects of British history at that point as well. So again, a lot of things that kind of point in the right direction, that we're in the right place at the right time. Now, there's a thing that comes along with that. It's difficult being a pioneer, guys. I'm going to tell you about, you know, a few things that have hindered us. You know, we've got me. There's a lot of misconceptions that people have about myself, Miguel, Sylvie, Holden, Richmond, etc., etc., etc. And some of our team aren't here anymore. You don't have to be a genius to work that out, but the basic people, myself and Richmond and Miguel and Sylvie, we're still, you know, we're still very much on board. But here's a misconception some of you might have. Some of you probably think we get paid for this. We do not get paid. I have never made a penny out of GMeta 1. I didn't get a bunch of free tokens or anything like that. Any tokens I have, I bought them. And I also earned them from sharing them, just like you do. I don't get paid for doing all these videos. I don't get paid for doing this presentation. I don't get paid for promoting GMeta 1. I earn free GMeta tokens, just like you. There's no difference. So there's always a perception that obviously the guy at the front of the room is earning all the money. I can guarantee we're not. Now, as such, I have a print and design business. I need to earn money, so I do that mostly. And when I get a chance, I will promote GMeta 1, or I'll help you guys to promote GMeta 1. I can help you to help yourselves, but you need to jump on board. You need to keep attending these, bring people to them. We can help. I'm not a big recruiter. I'm not a network marketing recruiter. That's why we've got you guys who are very good at doing stuff like that. We give you the tools, and one of the tools is this doing this, building all those premises in the metaverse, all the tools that we've given you. But I want to keep doing this show at 5 o'clock on a Saturday, UK time, 12 noon EST. This is a tool to do the job. Now, Miguel, Sylvie, they've got staffing issues in their businesses, which requires it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Miguel's got a business, internet cafe, and he can't get staff for it. No matter how much he offers people, he can't get reliable staff. So he's having to work there 7 days a week. Richmond's taken on a job. He's now working as well. So all of us have jobs. We're all struggling the same as you guys. We have to do stuff to get by. So whatever time we have, we will do stuff for GMeta One. We do have other projects that we deliver for other people, but GMeta One is our only baby. So keep your eyes out, because we do other projects, and some of them are very, very good, but they're for other people. We're not competing with GMeta One on anything, on any level, but we have a good team of people who can deliver projects for other people, and that's what we were always doing long before we were doing GMeta One, delivering different tokens. We've got one we delivered a few weeks ago, which has gone crazy. That's basically the bottom line. So if you think that we're earning fortunes, and we're not, I can 100% guarantee that. But we are normal human beings. We do have our limitations. We can only do so much. So we need help from the community as well. And moaning in the group, if people are doing that, isn't very helpful. So guys, please plug into these shows. Please bring people to them. Please continue to educate yourself about the metaverse, because if you look at the news items today, for example, Forbes magazine, you've got a guy there saying it's just ahead of its time. What's going on with GMeta One is very similar to the metaverse itself, because obviously we launched with a bunch of hype. We've got a bunch of people on board, and then we've got a global financial crisis going on. And of course things slow down a bit. Of course they do. Doesn't mean we abandon them. Doesn't mean we're running away. We're very visible people. We've always been that, and we always will be. So guys, thanks for the support. Keep moving forwards in whatever size of steps you want to take with GMeta One. That's up to you, but please take some kind of steps. Keep moving forward. Keep sharing this amazing opportunity we have in the metaverse, because one day it's going to go crazy. One day. Can't tell you exact date, but it will. And it's born out by that. Decentraland, 4 years for their token to hit that ridiculous all-time high. That's all I need to say. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next time on Super Saturday. We're going to mix it up. We're going to have some interviews with some people, some of our members. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye.